What's going on, all you crazy gardeners? Lately, I've been seeing a lot of posts on my Green Life page about people, especially new gardeners who aren't knowledgeable, saying, "What's wrong with my tree? I've been feeding it fish emulsion and seaweed, kelp meal, and nitrogen, but its leaves are turning yellow and they're falling off and they're dying. What's wrong with my tree?" And I'm looking at it and I go, it's a deciduous tree. It's autumn. It's December in Phoenix. I go, everybody else around the country has gone through this back in October. It's like these figs, they're just now losing their leaves and turning yellow, even though there's still some fall crop of figs on them. But I like this time of year because now they're going into dormancy, and I can cut them way back in January and hopefully do some grafting on them. These are my honey figs. But a lot of things, even your stuff that are evergreen and tropicals, they'll lose leaves when it gets cold. But just wait till it gets hot. Starting in April and May here in Phoenix, when it gets hot, everything is going to be banging up to the sky with new growth. Even the papayas looking a little bit sad, even though they got lots of papayas on them under there. Grapes almost lost all their leaves. But here's what I've been doing underneath my grapes. Because this is south facing, so it gets full sun. So I just been throwing seeds. So you see a bunch of radishes down there popping up. And right here, some beets popping up. I just threw a bunch of my sprouty mix in there. So there's probably some clover in there. Mostly radishes and clover, and I did plant some beets, but all along here there's all these seedlings popping up. But this is actually kind of warm right here, even though it's only about 60 degrees out. This chair right here is actually hot because it's facing the sun. That sun, that's hot. When it's hitting you directly. So all this stuff that's right here on the south facing, even though it's still chilly, that sun warms it up. It's a good place to grow stuff. And there's some more beets and radishes. So as I lose all my leaves from my grapevines, I just start growing root crops and greens. Let's go see how our raised bed is doing with that chicken compost, that free chicken compost that I filled it with. Oh, by the way, look at this fig tree. There's hardly any leaves on that at all. Mulberry deciduous. Don't worry about it. All that's going to feed the soil. All these beautiful leaves are going to be falling to the ground, decomposing, and feeding the soil life. It's like these beautiful pear trees with the golden and red leaves. They're going to be sticks in a couple weeks. Grapevines here, losing all its leaves and all that beautiful mulch. And here in this garden I get a lot of sun right here. It's late afternoon, so these are almost ready to start eating in my raised bed. These are all my lettuce mixtures, different types of lettuce. So I'll be having some fresh salads, and there's some radishes right there. Kale didn't do so well, but the garlic is popping up. That's elephant garlic I got started. There's some more radishes and beets. All the carrots doing nice. Got a few tomatoes. I don't know if we're gonna get it right because it's gonna be down to probably 30 degrees here in a couple days. Got a few kumquats. This is all clover. I could feed those to the chickens. Good chicken feed. They like this. Huh. Yeah, they like clover. Let that grow on my walkway. Oh, this is clover coming up. I think it is. Maybe it isn't. There's so many seeds that fall down. There might even be dill. It looks like clover. I'm trying to take all these vines out. These are all gonna be growing back next spring with a vengeance like they did this year. Trying to redo my beds, getting it ready for spring planting. These are gonna be taken out as soon as they lose their leaves. This is the Violet de Bordeaux fig that I started in the raised beds. There's a couple of them here, so they're ready to transplant. This one right here I'm going to plant in the ground. This one I'll probably have for sale. I think one's enough. So I have what, four varieties of figs. But I want to get some cuttings this January to try to get some grafting in. Get a cocktail fig tree. But yeah, a lot of things are going to lose their leaves this time of year. All those pomegranates are overripe. So this is all chicken feed. But I've been eating them too. As soon as they start cracking, you know, they're ready. But the chickens love the pomegranates. It's healthy food for them. Right after it rained, they started splitting. I got all the big ones off, but I might have to go back there and eat some and feed some to the chickens. Maybe propagate some cuttings. There's another evergreen that doesn't look very good this year because those avocado trees, they don't like all the salt that we have in our water. So the old leaves will have the salt burn, but then it'll flush out with new growth, and all the new growth in the spring will be beautiful again. Oh, we got a hummingbird right there. Hey, buddy. And even the ice cream bean tree, it doesn't like the cold either. It's a tropical. Same with the starfruit. Moringa, they're pretty much an evergreen, but they usually don't like the cold. They'll freeze back. I haven't had a problem with the moringa here though. I might have to cut that one down. I don't need it here anymore. I'll just save this one up front, but I cut it back to 8 feet. Normally in February, I don't want to cut it back now because it protects the banana, so it's a microclimate for my banana. But I do not want it over my apple trees because you can see this one is still fully green, but this one, it's more out in the open, and so it's been getting a little bit more cold, and so it's getting the chill factor it needs. But I need this one to get chill factor, so all these branches are going to be cut down today. That's what I'm going to do today before I go in. I'm going to cut all these branches that are hanging over the apple tree, because I'm not going to prune these until January to get it ready for budding out. But they need to get their chill hours. These low chill varieties of Anna and Golden Dorset need at least 200 to 300 hours, and I'll get 300 hours if I can allow the cold air to get to them. So that's what I'm going to do today, since we're going to be getting down to the 30s every night. As long as it's under 45 degrees, they'll get their chill. That peach I let overgrow. Look how tall that stupid peach is. I didn't want it to get that high. I have to cut it way back. I should have had it pruned back in October on the height after all the summer heat ended, but I didn't. So I'm going to just start pruning it back while it goes dormant, because all the fruit will be on last year's wood. But these branches are getting pretty thick up above my head, so we'll have to clean these up a little bit. Now here's another evergreen or citrus. and the citrus start ripening in the winter time here. Now my Jamaican cherry hasn't been looking too good this year. I'm not positive what's going on with this because it has been colder than normal. Last year this time of year it was giving me tons of fruit, but this year I think it's just been too cold for it. Pecan, they lose all their leaves, but this next year this thing should really take off. It's getting its roots pretty established after its third year. Yeah. This pluot here has lost most of its leaves. It's got a little bit more open air here. It's getting a lot more protection with all the height of my Royal Poinciana date palm. Look at this sweet almond bush. It's blooming right now with all the bees. And that's what the sweet almond bush is supposed to be here for. I planted it right in the center of my yard to bring the bees in, especially in the springtime. And they can pollinate all my trees. And you can smell it too. It smells like vanilla. Sweet almond bush. Very nice bush to have. Look at all them bees. Over here in zone 1, this is my pomegranate hedge. Of course, it's lost all its leaves. And I gotta cut all these out, get more sun in here so that next year it has more sun so it can fruit better. Same with this Barbados cherries. It doesn't get enough sun. Guavas, they get lots of sun, especially in the wintertime. It's actually flowering right now. Looking really good with all the new growth. Pink guava, getting some new growth after being pruned. This won't coming back till the spring, the Suriname cherry. And here's one of my experiments, because I had my coconut cream mango severely damaged. The bark on it was peeling way back because from the damage all the way down to here. So I said, well, I got 2 branches on here. I could try grafting it to save it. So I just cut the trunk right there, which was below where the damage was, and I split it and put down the sticks and tried to engraft it. And I just stuck a bunch of aloe vera gel in there from my aloe vera plant because it's a natural rooting hormone. So we'll see if that takes, and I can save that coconut cream mango because the ice cream is doing just fine. It's bushing out. And I told you before that I haven't had any luck with loquat, but it likes this spot. It's actually flowering. Hopefully we can get some fruit next year. I don't know if it's in a fruit with this or not. It might, but I'm just be lucky if it does well here. It should, because it only gets sunlight till 10 a.m. morning sun. And all the Turk's cap hibiscus, they're actually starting to flower. I actually ate one the other day. It was pretty good. They should be tastier when they get some more heat though. But they're doing really well here as an understory. So that's just what I wanted to share with you. It's like, this is time of year everything kind of will go into dormancy, whether if it's tropical or deciduous trees. Don't freak out. Just go with the flow. Have a good day.